Hello everyone, it's Weston Means with eXp Realty, San Francisco Bay Area Realtor, once again to look over the numbers for July 2024 of this year. I got them right here. We're looking over the four major counties that I serve, starting with Alameda County, of course. So just to reiterate, the data for this video is coming from July. It is now towards the end of August. It's August 28th today, but the data for the previous month is released in the third week of the next month. So we're going to review the numbers for July, and then I'll just kind of give you my thoughts on the current state of the market. Obviously, we have a major US election coming up very soon in November. There's a lot of fear surrounding that right now. I've been talking with a lot of sellers who are fearful of waiting to list until after the election because it's unclear how the election is going to affect the real estate market. Depending on who goes into office next, some people think it may have an adverse or it may have a positive effect on the market. So there's just a lot of uncertainty, and uncertainty usually leads to people wanting to avoid that uncertainty, right? So from what I'm getting from a lot of sellers is that they're wanting to list their homes on the market before the election. Now, what I think the effect of that is going to be is that there's going to be a bit of a surge of supply right before the election. We'll probably start seeing it in October and maybe late September. A little similar to the surge we saw when the new N.A.R. rules were released due to that N.A.R. lawsuit just in, what was it? August 17th was the official date. So that was actually a little more than a week ago. And there was definitely a surge of inventory. So I think something similar is going to happen around October, and that's going to create more options for buyers, which may make the median sale price come down a little bit. But in some of these counties, we've actually been seeing sale prices come down a little already. And I think that's because we saw that surge because of the new N.A.R. rules that were released about 10 days ago. Sorry, 11 days ago, to be exact. So let's take a look at the numbers. We're going to start with Alameda County. So in Alameda County, we had the median price actually fall month to month by 6.5%. And that is somewhat significant. So it's indicating that the median sale price came down from June to July. And July is usually one of the higher months. I think what may have happened is there was a peak in June and it kind of came over the crest. And in some of these other counties, like in Contra Costa County, maybe the peak is going to be in July this year. So there was a month-to-month decrease there. Now year-to-year, median price was up 1.6%. So it hasn't really risen that much from last year. But the good news is that now the interest rates are hovering right around 6.5%. I believe at this same time last year, they might have been above 7%. So there's a bit more buying power, and the prices haven't really gone up to match that additional buying power. So this is creating a better buying opportunity for buyers out there right now who have been looking to buy for the last couple of years. Now, home sales were up almost 25% from last year. So things slowed down last year when the rates just kept going up. There were a lot of rate hikes, hike, and that sidelined a lot of buyers. And, obviously sales took a hit because of that. So this year we're seeing almost 25% more sales. This is a healthier market than last year. Month to month, the sales went up 8.2%. And unsold inventory was at 1.6 months. This is still a strong seller's market in the grand scheme of things. Pretty normal in the Bay Area over the last 5 years. Month to month, that was down 11.1%. So I think the increase of 8.2 in sales accounted for that a little bit. Year to year, inventory was up 23.1%. So this is most likely to explain the dip here in sales prices, although it still is up 1.6% from last year. So you could tell we're still in a strong seller's market, but compared to 2022, even 2023, and especially 2021 and 2020, this increase is extremely minimal. I mean, it's almost a flat line increase. This is a very slight increase. So, things have gotten quite a bit easier for buyers this year. Now, median time on market was 13 days in Alameda County. That was 8.3% higher than June, and 18.2% higher than last July. So it's about 18.2% easier for a buyer to purchase a home in Alameda County this year compared to last year. All right, now moving on to Contra Costa County, let's review those numbers. The median price in Contra Costa County this July was $916,500. That was a 1.5% increase from June and a 1.8% increase from last year. So things are pretty flat here. We're not seeing drastic increases. We're not seeing decreases either. So it's staying pretty steady. Home sales were up 3.6% from July, and they were down 3.8% from June. So not too much of a change there either. Unsold inventory was at 1.8 months. This was a 0% change from June. So the market conditions were pretty similar. 1.8 months is still definitely a seller's market. So, what I've been seeing out there in the market is that obviously the best move-in ready homes that don't need any work in the best locations are getting multiple offers still. But the ones that need any type of work and maybe they're not in the best location, some of those are sitting on the market. And, some of the sellers are having to lower their price expectations on those because the longer you sit on the market, the more that property gets stigmatized. And then, buyers start asking the sellers, why has this listing been on the market for so long? Is there something wrong with it? And, that results in what buyers are willing to offer coming down as the property gets more stigmatized. So unsold inventory was up 28.6% from last year. So that's a significant amount of an increase in inventory, which is good news for buyers. That means more supply. Now, median time on market was 13 days. That's the same as it was in Alameda County. That was an increase of 4% from June. Not that significant. Year to year was an increase of 8.3%. So not as drastic of a shift as Alameda County, but definitely this year has been easier on buyers in both Alameda County and Contra Costa County. Moving on to Marin County, let's take a look at the numbers here. We had a median price of $1.594 million, and that was 11.4% lower than June, and 1% lower than last year. So, there's a wide range of listings in Marin County, so sometimes I don't even know why I review the data for Marin County because there's such a vast range of different homes that it can throw off the median price quite a bit. But the median price has been right around 1.6, 1.5 for at least the last year. Home sales were up 16% from last year. That's a good sign because I know sales were lagging in Marin County for a while there when rates were going up. Month to month, it increased 4.2%. Unsold inventory was 1.8 months. That's the same as it was in Contra Costa County this July. Month to month, that was a decrease of 21.7%. So it looks like in June, there were quite a few more options on the market, 21.7% more. So it looks like things have gotten harder for buyers from June to July. Inventory increased year to year by almost 6%. So that's a little bit better for buyers in the market this year in comparison to last year. Now, the median time on the market was 57 days. That was 46.2% higher than June. So despite there being less inventory, it looks like listings were sitting on the market longer in July than they were in June. And, this could be for a number of different reasons. Maybe because the listings that were on the market in July were just not as desirable. Maybe some of them had deferred maintenance and things like that, and so the median time on market was significantly higher. But as I described earlier, there's a wide range of different properties in Marin, so that could give a description of why that discrepancy might be there. Year to year, this was an increase of 32.6%. So definitely listings stay on the market significantly longer than in Alameda and Contra Costa County and even San Francisco County, just because it's a higher price point, and there's a wide range of different listings. And so for the listings that are like 2 million and above, some of those may take longer because the buyer pool for those type of homes is smaller. So moving on to San Francisco County, let's review the numbers for San Francisco County. Median price was 1.6 million. That was 3% lower than June, but it was 9.6% higher than last year. So this is the most significant jump in median price for all four of these counties. And I can tell you the reason for this. I think it's mostly because a lot of the companies in San Francisco have required a lot of their employees to go back into the office at least for a couple days a week. And that was a pretty recent change. I heard it was coming down the pipe last year from some of my clients who were in tech, and now it has finally come, and a lot of these companies are requiring their workers to be in the office a couple days a week. So a lot of folks are trying to move back to San Francisco to be closer to the office and just being in more of a convenient location so that they don't have to scramble in the morning and all that kind of stuff. So that explains at least part of the reason why there's been a 9.6% increase in sales price from last year. Now, home sales, year to year, they increased 34.8%. That's not a surprise because there was a bit of a slump in San Francisco last year. Companies had not required a lot of companies hadn't required their employees to be back in the office yet, and there wasn't even really talk about that happening. And so, in 2023 and in 2022, there was a general exodus out of San Francisco. Now, it seems that a lot of these folks are returning back to San Francisco and looking to buy properties. So month to month, that was a 6.1% increase. So sales increased from June to July this year. Unsold inventory was 1.4 months. That is the lowest out of all these counties. So it looks like median price, although it came down from June to July, it's up almost 10% from last year. And so competition seems like it's getting harder. And the amount of unsold inventory is the lowest here. And that's probably because there are a lot of people coming back looking to buy homes in San Francisco. So this level of inventory was 22.2% lower than June. So it looks like there was a bit of a frenzy in San Francisco in June. And it looks like the peak in median price and the peak in median sales has crested in June and is starting to come down. Now, year to year, that was 33.3% lower than last year, the level of inventory, unsold inventory. So there's about a third less homes that are still on the market than there were at the same time last year, last July. Median time on market in San Francisco County was 27 days this July. That was 20.6% lower than June and 22.9% lower than last July. So This is interesting because actually it's not that interesting because we're seeing inventory is decreasing and the median time on market is decreasing as well. So that means there's less supply, and then the time it takes. Oh, my camera thought I was giving a thumbs up. So there's less supply, and that means that the competition per listing is higher, and so the median time it takes for a listing to sell is coming down as well. So that means competition is rising. So it's becoming harder for a buyer to purchase in San Francisco County as time goes on, which is a good news for sellers. That means prices are appearing to rise, even though we saw a decrease from June to July of 3%. San Francisco County, not unlike Marin County, does have quite a vast range of prices, so that could be throwing off the data a little bit. I think as we move toward the election this year, there may be a bit of a spike in supply, but I think prices are going to hold firm. There are those buyers that are coming back to San Francisco looking to buy properties. So I think there's going to be quite a bit of a sell-off in San Francisco coming up. So get ready for that. Now I hope this video helped you understand what's going on in the market right now. As always, if you have any other questions, please feel free to send them to me. Feel free to leave a comment on this video. Send me a DM, send me a text. All my contact info is going to be below in the description. And if there's anything else I can do for you, please let me know, and I will talk to you soon.